Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to eliminate that dreaded weak fade from your golf game. All right guys, so in today's video, I want to talk about eliminating the fade, and in particular the weak fade. So as I work with people in person and with the online lessons, the fade pattern, the pulls, fades, and kind of weak over fade turning into a slice is definitely the most common pattern that I see. When I look back at the videos we've done, we've talked a little bit about how to do it. We have our Slice Fix program, but I wanted to make sort of a condensed version of, hey, I'm someone who hits a fade. I want to get rid of that pattern. So let's go through that. I want to talk about why you get it, and then I'll show you the main way that we use to get rid of that pattern. So briefly, when we're talking about a fade pattern, we're talking about a couple of issues. Mostly during the downswing, two main priorities that are issues. Number one, typically, right, is the swing direction of the path getting too far over the top or outside in. And most of that getting caused by the fact that the club face is too far open. So if you're someone who hits a weak fade, for sure, your club face gets too far open during the downswing for whatever reason, and then usually you'll combat that with an over-the-top path, that leading you to the shot pattern you would expect to get, which are straight pulls to the left if you're a right-handed golfer, fades back. Your good shots would be kind of baby fades, and then your bad shots would be the fade that goes too far to the right. So those are the two issues we have to deal with here. Your club face is too open, and your path during the downswing is too close. Now, when we talk about a club face being too open, obviously some of you are going to have that for different reasons. I don't know, for you without seeing it, if your club face is too open because your grip is too weak. I don't know if your club face is too open because you roll it too far inside. Maybe your left wrist gets cupped, whatever. I would look at those pieces beforehand. Reference older videos, make sure that your grip is good, make sure the club face and your wrist conditions during the backswing are somewhat good, okay, in order for this to work. But mainly what I want to focus on is the downswing follow through. So here's how we do this thing. Now, this weak fade pattern that I see, now sometimes, like I said, the face is too open at address or it is too open during the backswing, but mostly during the downswing follow through, let's assume two things. Number one, let's assume you do have some form of weak grip. Let's assume you do have a club face open here at the top and you don't 100% fix that. Okay, you still have to play golf and there's other ways to do it. How we can do that is with a follow through station. Now, here's how we do this. I have a bucket and a stick in front of me. And this is similar to the practice stations that we used in the How to Hit a Draw video and other videos where we're training the swing direction to go to the right. And I'll explain how to do that. What I want to combine in this video is the swing direction working more to the right past impact with a lot of lead arm supination or forearm rotation or flip, if you will, when you come through. A lot of you guys who have this weak fade pattern don't square the club face enough during the downswing. Okay, your club face is too open already, and then you don't square it enough to even be normal. Now imagine if your club face is too open, you have to square it even more than a normal person would because it's already open back here. So how do you do that? Well, typically we have the most success with that with doing it dramatically past impact. So here's what that would look like. You would take your normal setup, and I want you to preset the club being sort of rolled over or supinated here with forearm rotation. So I like to get the club where you can see here the club face is pointed down towards the ground. My back of my left hand is down towards the ground, palm up towards the sky. It's an exaggerated position. So it's sort of preset with the flip past impact like so. And then I have the club face and the club head from here. If you were to imagine I'm sort of standing on a clock here, 12 o'clock being straight in front, it'd be 11. About 10 o'clock here is how far out to the right I have this pointed. So I want to preset this forward position to help square the club face and get rid of that fade from about here. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how we do this. The first option here being that I have the club preset forward. Again, I'm sort of at that 10 o'clock position, flipped on purpose. I'm going to come back over the golf ball and try and get back to that spot. Again, I'm exaggerating this forearm rotation, which is okay to do, and I want you to do. I want to preset some of this flip motion here during the follow. So here we go. Club's preset, flipped into the right. I'm going to bring it back, and then I feel those same pieces in my swing. It's a little bit of a draw. I'm going to do that again. Now this might not be the easiest thing in the world the first time you do this because this station here is going to be way in your way for some of you. And then you actually just hitting a golf ball from a spot where the club's paws in front is going to be difficult too. So take your time. Let's do baby steps with this. Here I'm going to do the same thing. Preset way to the right. Notice how far away my hands are from my body. Club face is turned down to the ground. So I'm going to preset here, bring it back, and then feel that same piece. Now, that's option number one, which is kind of presetting, like I said, that club face square down towards the ground. Option number two here is, instead of me starting from that pause position, I'm going to just rehearse that. So I'll have my club preset out in front, again, out toward that 10 o'clock turn down. But now, instead of me doing it with one continuous motion, I'm going to preset that feel. I'll come back to my normal setup, and then I'm just going to do a half swing trying to feel that same piece. But I'm exaggerating those two parts, which is number one, where the club is in space, being out to the right at that 10 o'clock, and also the club face being square closed version. So we'll do the same thing. I'm going to one time just feel that, bring it back in a little half one. Good. And for you guys who are hitting that fade pattern, I need you to exaggerate both of those pieces, right? We have to fix the club face portion of it. It's perfectly okay, and I want you to exaggerate squaring the face in the fall. That's not wrong. That's not a compensation move. It's okay for you to do that. And the swing direction portion with it. So let's talk about how to set this station up here. Now, normally when I do this from the down the line, again, the main purpose of this stick is that it gets in my way if I normally have this over the top motion. I want to have that train myself to have my swing direction to the right, probably more to the right than even normal, so it's a little bit exaggerated. How I do it when I set it up is I'll take my normal setup, I just have a wedge here, and I hold the club about on my toe line. So if I were to go here, the club's parallel to the ground on my toe line, and I want the angle that the shaft is on to run just underneath the angle that my club is on here as a just normal stock spot. So if I were to set this station up and it were way above that up here, right, this would be an exaggerated version. You can see that's farther to the right of my club. This would be too exaggerated. Or anything where this would be way underneath, right, if I was down here like this, then that's essentially not even my way, not going to make any sort of effect. So when I put that in, you have to play with it once or twice. I just put it right through a range bucket on the mat. If you're in grass, you could just put the stick right in the ground is fine, but something that's in front of you here to exaggerate the swing direction. So I would do one of those two pieces. Again, you're really trying to feel this club being thrown out in this direction with the forearm rotation. When you do that and you learn those pieces, then when you add the rotation, the pivot stuff, it's not going to look like that, okay? This is just an exaggeration. When you do this here and you start to actually do the rotation pieces with it, you're going to look normal. It's, again, this is overdone, exaggerated. So once you can do the half swings, so here and then just a little half one, then I would just gradually work my way up into full swing. So I'm like, all right, I can do a little half swing from there. Now I'll try the same thing, kind of presetting this, and I'll do this into about a 3/4 swing. Feeling the same pieces. I'm exaggerating my exit to the right and the rotation. And then once I can complete that with a 3/4 swing, I'll go up to a full swing, feeling the same pieces. Same thing again. Feeling that rotated over out to the right, exaggerating my draw pieces, and then there's my full swing with it. So I wanted to go over this station. I know I've told a lot of you guys about this. I wanted to show you this. For you guys that have that weak fade pattern, you need to understand that the club face portion and the over the top are both the problems. We have to fix the face or else nothing else gets done. This is typically how I would always start it in an in-person lesson. This is the practice station that I'm referring to for all you guys that are doing the online lessons. And don't be afraid, I'm going to say that like 20 times, to supinate in the follow through, exaggerate the forearm rotation pieces to get rid of the ball curving too far to the right. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below. Click the notification bell if you haven't. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And as always, if you guys have any questions, leave them down below.